Hello and a very warm welcome to Parliament this week from Kevadia, and you can also see the iconic Statue of Unity behind me. In Kevadia, the 80th edition of All India Presiding Officers Conference was recently held. It was inaugurated by President of India, Ramnath Kovind, and he said that in a democratic system, dialogue is the best medium to ensure that debate doesn't become a dispute. Take a look.
Inaugurating the 80th All India Presiding Officers Conference at Kevadia, President Ramnath Kovind said, in a parliamentary democracy, the opposition has an important role, and along with the ruling party, harmony, cooperation and meaningful deliberation between the two is necessary. He also said that it is the responsibility of presiding officers to provide congenial atmosphere for a healthy debate to the people's representatives in the House and to encourage courteous dialogue and discussion.
संसदीय लोकतंत्र में सत्ता पक्ष के साथ साथ प्रतिपक्ष की भी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होती है। इसलिए दोनों में सामंजस्य, सहयोग एवं सार्थक विचार विमर्श आवश्यक है। पीठासीन अधिकारियों का यह दायित्व है कि वे सदन में जनप्रतिनिधियों को स्वस्थ बहस के लिए उपयुक्त वातावरण उपलब्ध कराएं और शिष्ट संवाद तथा चर्चा को प्रोत्साहित करें। पीठासीन अधिकारी की जवाबदेही क्षेत्र की जनता के प्रति भी होती है। सदन के अध्यक्ष का आसन उनकी गरिमा और दायित्व दोनों का प्रतीक होता है, जहां बैठकर वह पूरी निष्पक्षता और न्याय भावना से कार्य करते हैं। निष्पक्षता और न्याय भावना से काम करना हमारी संसदीय लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था का आधार है।
He observed that the democratic system has proved to be the most effective means of people's welfare and that members and presiding officers should maintain each other's dignity for the betterment of people and progress of the country.
लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था जनता के कल्याण का सर्वाधिक प्रभावी माध्यम सिद्ध हुई है। इसलिए संसद एवं विधानमंडल का सदस्य होना अपने आप में सभी के लिए गौरव की बात है। सभी सदस्यों को और पीठासीन अधिकारियों को जनता की भलाई तथा देश की तरक्की के लिए एक दूसरे की मर्यादा बनाए रखनी चाहिए। पीठासीन अधिकारियों की गरिमा का ध्यान रखने से सांसदों और विधायकों का अपना सम्मान भी बढ़ता है और लोगों के मन में संसदीय लोकतंत्र के प्रति आदर भाव भी बना रहता है।
The President also said that Parliament and legislative assemblies are the cornerstone of our parliamentary system. He stressed that the democratic system is eventually governed by the supreme goal of people's welfare, especially the upliftment of the poor, backward and the deprived sections of our society and the progress of the country. He expressed confidence that the three organs of governance together will continue to work towards achieving this goal.
लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था अंततः लोक कल्याण, विशेष रूप से गरीबों, पिछड़ों और वंचितों के उत्थान और देश की प्रगति के परम ध्येय से संचालित होती है। मेरा विश्वास है कि शासन के तीनों अंग मिलकर इस ध्येय को प्राप्त करने की दिशा में कार्य करते रहेंगे।
The President also exuded confidence that the democratic system will be further strengthened by adopting the conclusions drawn from the deliberations during the conference. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Vice President of India and Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu also addressed the conference. He said that Constitution has clearly demarcated the domains of three organs of democracy. He said that some judicial pronouncements give an impression of judicial overreach. He also questioned the conduct of legislators and urged them to uphold parliamentary decorum. Take a look.
Addressing the 80th edition of the All India Presiding Officers Conference, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that harmony lies in each of the three organs of democracy doing their job without interfering with that of the others. This warrants a spirit of mutual respect, responsibility and restraint. He voiced concern that there have been several instances of these organs crossing boundaries.
There have been several instances of crossing the boundaries. We are familiar with the excess of executive in disregard of their accountability to the legislature on certain occasions. There have been cases when rules framed under the delegated subordinate legislation violated the provisions of the original legislation by the Parliament, violation of rights and liberties of citizens by the executive. At times, it is too visible to comfort. At times, the legislature too has tended to cross the line. The 39th Constitutional Amendment, placing the election of the President and Vice President and Prime Minister beyond the scope of judicial scrutiny in the circumstance in 1975, is one such instance. There have been quite a few judicial pronouncements that gave a distinct impression of an overreach. These actions have resulted in an avoidable blurring of the contours demarcated by the Constitution.
The Vice President asserted that once each organ has an overarching goal and has the larger public interest in view, the foundation for a synergetic functioning will be laid. This spirit will have to be constantly protected and nurtured with mutual respect and a high sense of responsibility. The Vice President also pointed out that concerns have been raised as to whether the judiciary is entering the domains of the legislative and executive wings.
There have been debates as to whether some issues should have been more legitimately left to the other organs of the government. For example, Deepavali fireworks, cess on registration and movement of vehicles from the national capital region through Delhi, banning the use of vehicles of certain make after 10 or 15 years, monitoring the police investigation, denying the executive any role in the appointment of judges by instituting collegium, which is said to be an extra constitutional body. This is also the view held by many of the jurists. Invalidating the National Judicial Accountability Commission Act, seeking to ensure transparency and accountability are being cited as instances of judicial overreach. So these has to be kept in mind by all the concerned. So there are some concerns about the harmony in the working of three organs of the state. Our Constitution provides for checks and balances to ensure playing by the rules and harmony among the three organs of the state.
Vice President Naidu also said that presiding officers have a major role to play in furthering the cause of parliamentary democracy. He also expressed concern over frequent disruptions, conduct of legislators both within and outside the chambers, rising number of legislators with criminal background, and rising money power in elections. He also cited frequent disruptions during question hour. The Vice President urged the presiding officers to take necessary measures to make operational committees in all the legislatures.
Both the House of Parliament, where they have taken a solemn pledge, but this is followed more in violation. Citing frequent disruption of the question hour, it was shifted from 11 a.m. to 12 noon in 2014 in the Rajya Sabha. During 2010-14, only 32.39% of the question hour time was made use of, while 67.61% of the valuable question hour time was lost due to disruptions and forced adjournment. Not this particular regime. This tenure or earlier tenure. But after question hour was shifted, only 26.25% of the question time was availed in the next year, 2015. For the 5-year period, 2015 and 19, only 41.39% of the question hour time was made use of. Through this is an effective instrument to take on the government to task by asking important questions for oral replies from the government, which is an important part of the oversight function of the House. In fact, over the last 30 years, utilization of question hour time has been declining. This is a matter of serious concern. Decorum, 3 Ds, of the temples of democracy will be upheld only through adherence to the 3 Ds, that is, debate, discuss, and decide, not going or resorting to the 4th D, that is disruption. One of us.
The Vice
take
President cautioned that
necessary steps to
unabated
see
disruption
that
seriously
these
erode
things
the
are
standing of legislatures
followed.
and that
Passing a
lack of
resolution is
harmony
very
in the
easy.
functioning will seriously erode the legitimacy
But
of all the three
following the
organs of the state.
उपराष्ट्रपति जी एवं सभा
Prime Minister Modi virtually addressed the valedictory session of this conference. He said that Constitution is the guiding light to take on all the challenges of the 21st century. He also underscored the need for better coordination between executive, judiciary and legislature. He also paid homage to the victims of 26/11 terror attacks.
Addressing the concluding session of the 88th All India Presiding Officers Conference via video conferencing, Prime Minister Modi reiterated his call for one nation, one election. He said, every few months elections takes place in some or other region. The constant election activity hampers developmental work and separate voters list for different elections involve waste of time and resources.
वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन सिर्फ एक चर्चा का विषय नहीं है, बल्कि ये भारत की जरूरत है। हर कुछ महीने में भारत में कहीं न कहीं बड़े चुनाव हो रहे होते हैं। इससे विकास के कार्यों पर जो प्रभाव पड़ता है उसे आप सब भली भांति जानते हैं। ऐसे में वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन पर गहन अध्ययन और मंथन आवश्यक है।
The Prime Minister said that the roles of three organs of Constitution are assigned in the Constitution itself. He said, after emergency, the system of checks and balances has strengthened.
संविधान के तीनों अंगों की भूमिका से लेकर मर्यादा तक सब कुछ संविधान में ही वर्णित है। 70 के दशक में हमने देखा था कि कैसे सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर की मर्यादा को भंग करने की कोशिश हुई थी, लेकिन इसका जवाब भी देश को संविधान से ही मिला। बल्कि इमरजेंसी के उस दौर के बाद चेक्स एंड बैलेंस का सिस्टम मजबूत से मजबूत होता गया। विधायिका, कार्यपालिका और न्यायपालिका तीनों ही उस कालखंड से बहुत कुछ सीखकर आगे बढ़े। बीते 6-7 सालों में विधायिका, कार्यपालिका और न्यायपालिका में सामंजस्य को और बेहतर करने का प्रयास हुआ है। साथियों, इस तरह के प्रयासों का सबसे बड़ा प्रभाव पड़ता है जनता के विश्वास पर।
The Prime Minister said efforts should now be made to ensure that common citizen understands the Constitution better. He suggested that Know Your Constitution concept can be strengthened to safeguard constitutional values.
संविधान को जानना, समझना भी बहुत जरूरी है। आजकल हम सब लोग सुनते हैं KYC, ये बहुत कॉमन शब्द है, हर कोई जानता है। KYC का मतलब है नो योर कस्टमर। ये डिजिटल सुरक्षा का एक बड़ा अहम पहलू बना हुआ है। उसी तरह KYC एक नए रूप में KYC यानी नो योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमारे संविधान सुरक्षा कवच को भी मजबूत कर सकता है। इसलिए मैं संविधान के प्रति जागरूकता के लिए निरंतर अभियान चलाते रहना ये देश की आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए आवश्यक मानता हूं।
Prime Minister pointed out the close links between rights and duties. He asserted that when we perform our duties, rights are automatically safeguarded. Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Speaker of Lok Sabha Om Birla said that harmonious coordination between three organs of democracy is of paramount importance.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said that harmonious coordination between the legislature, executive and judiciary is of utmost importance, as all the three organs are dedicated to public welfare and they are also endowed with powers to do the same.
विचार विमर्श करने हेतु हमने तीनों लोकतंत्र के स्तंभ उन पर विशेष रूप से किस तरीके से हम आपस में समन्वय बनाकर और अपने संवैधानिक उत्तरदायित्वों को पूरा कर सकते हैं। शासन के विभिन्न अंगों के बीच सौहार्दपूर्ण सहअस्तित्व और देश के लोकतंत्र के सतत विकास के लिए ये विषय आज के संदर्भ में समसामयिक है। हम सबका मकसद जनता के हितों का संरक्षण करना ही है। अपनी अपनी संस्थाओं के माध्यम से इस संवैधानिक प्रावधानों और लोकतांत्रिक प्रणाली के तहत प्रक्रियाओं में सुधार और उसका समाधान निकालने की जिम्मेदारी हमारी है। मैं इस मौके पर यहां पधारे सभी पीठासीन अधिकारी जो अपनी अपनी संस्थाओं का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हैं, जिनका दायित्व होता है कि हम अपनी संस्थाओं के माध्यम से लोकतंत्र को सशक्त करें, मजबूत करें, जनता के प्रति जवाबदेह बने, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है।
He also said that in a democracy there can be a difference of opinion among the institutions, but with improvement in procedures, constitutional provisions and democratic norms, solutions can be found. Speaker Birla is also the chairperson of the conference, which is in centenary year now. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Harivansh, said that rules and laws must change according to changing times.
Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Harivansh, said India's laws were adopted from different countries years ago. He stressed as most sections of these laws have become outdated, changes and amendments need to be made periodically in keeping pace with the changing times.
मेरी जानकारी में मेजर बेसिक ओवरऑल बदलाव या होलिस्टिक अप्रोच से चेंज शायद अभी नहीं हुए। राज्यसभा में भी इसी तरह 1964 में रूल्स अडॉप्ट करने के बाद प्रोसीजरल चेंज एज पर रिक्वायरमेंट मेजर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव चेंज भी हुए, पर बदलते समय के संदर्भ में आधारभूत बदलाव होने चाहिए। भारतीय संविधान में समय समय पर परिस्थितियों के अनुरूप अब तक 100 से अधिक बदलाव हुए हैं। हाल ही में वर्तमान अध्यक्ष लोकसभा माननीय श्री ओम बिड़ला जी ने भी लोकसभा के रूल्स का कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिव्यू अपेक्षित बदलाव की दृष्टि से नवंबर 2019 में एक्सपर्ट कमेटी बनाई है। मुझे लगता है इसी दृष्टि से अप्रासंगिक कानूनों के बारे में भी, जैसे केंद्र में जनवरी 2020 तक लगभग 1500 पुराने पड़ चुके कानून खत्म हो चुके हैं। राज्य विधानसभाओं में कुल कितने अपने पुराने कानूनों को खत्म किया वे भी जरूर कर रहे होंगे, पर पब्लिक डोमेन में मैंने बहुत ढूंढा, नहीं मिला। विदेशों में कुछ परंपरा है जहां लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था है कि जो एक्ट पास होते हैं उनमें से एक सनसेट क्लॉज डाल दिया जाता है। इतनी अवधि के बाद यह एक्ट automatically lapse hoga.
The Deputy Chairman also said the laws that have outlived their utility are anti-people. He pointed out that there are more than a dozen laws that impose redundant taxes that yield little and cost a lot to collect.
कानून जब समय के अनुसार नहीं बनते तो उसका क्या कॉस्ट समाज पे करता है। मानगी के तौर पे मैं 2-3 चीजें बताना चाहूंगा। द लोकपाल एंड लोकायुक्त एक्ट 1968 में आया, पर कानून बन पाया अंततः 2019 में। 51 वर्षों बाद अनेक ऐसे कानून हैं। यह सदन की चीजें हैं, विधायिका का है, देश दलों से बड़ा है, समय डिजिटल एरा का है। अगर हम देखें कि समय के साथ हम नहीं चलते तो हम पीछे छूट जाते हैं। इतिहास में इसके अनेक प्रमाण हैं।
The Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha advocated that citizen-government interface can be seamless and as citizen-friendly as possible. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And senior Congress leader and Rajya Sabha member Ahmed Patel passed away on early Wednesday morning. Tributes came in from all quarters. Take a look.
Rajya Sabha MP and senior Congress leader Ahmed Patel passed away at a Gurugram hospital on Wednesday due to multi-organ failure. 71-year-old Ahmed Patel was suffering from complications related to COVID-19. Patel, who was critical for a few days, was admitted to Medanta Hospital in Gurugram on November 15th after he developed complications. An 8-time parliamentarian, Ahmed Patel held 5 terms in Rajya Sabha and 3 terms in Lok Sabha. Patel began his political career by contesting local body polls in Gujarat's Bharuch district in 1976. His first term as parliamentarian began in 1977 when then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi selected him to contest elections for 6th Lok Sabha from Bharuch. He was member of the 6th, 7th and 8th Lok Sabha till 1989. He was elected to Rajya Sabha for first time in August 1993 and had since won re-elections 4 times. He was last elected to Upper House in August 2017 from Gujarat. Patel had been one of the key strategists for the Congress party since time of former Prime Ministers Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. In 1984, Ahmed Patel was appointed as one of the 3 parliamentary secretaries in Rajiv Gandhi cabinet and later became political secretary to Sonia Gandhi after she took over as Congress chief. He was currently the Congress treasurer, a post that he occupied thrice. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and union ministers condoled Patel's demise. Congress leaders, including party chiefs Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, also mourned Patel's demise. Congress's interim president, Sonia Gandhi, said she lost an irreplaceable comrade, faithful colleague and a friend. Rahul Gandhi said Ahmed Patel was a pillar of the Congress party. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's all I had for you in this edition of Parliament This Week from Kevadia. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV.